for those of you who are in nice and early, I'm going to give you the good news on that one nice and early. Around the Mohamed Salah thing, look, I'll read it out exactly as it's written, and you can decide for yourself how stupid it is. So, according to Agbonlahor, so let's just start off by saying again, according to Agbonlahor, whose source seems to be, trust me bro, he said, I know Salah is going. I've got a source that told me Salah is definitely leaving on a record contract with Saudi. He'll earn more than Ronaldo and he'll be the face of the Saudi league. I would say he's full of it, personally. And again, I would hope that Rami Abbasisa or Mohamed Salah or Liverpool or somebody has the backbone to step up here and call out Agbonlahor for the nonsense that he's spouting. If anybody is going to break a story about Mohamed Salah and a move away, I'm not going to have it be a Agbonlahor that we're all getting worked up about. Because Agbonlahor, well, let's just say I wouldn't be putting too much faith in what he has to say, nor would I pay too much attention to what he has to say around anything football related, to be honest. So that's where this story comes from. Agbonlahor, I believe it was on TalkSport, said that his source tells him that Salah has agreed a deal to move to Saudi and that it will be a record contract there, earning more money than Cristiano Ronaldo and anybody else. Again, we can only report it, my friends. It's up to you to give me your thoughts on it, and I'm sure your thoughts are probably the same as mine. Bullshit, quite frankly. Troy said, not gonna lie, Salah's time is up. I want him to leave. It's been a joy, but time for the future. Wow. I mean, look, Troy, I'm not gonna go in on you, mate. You're entitled to your opinion. I mean, I would probably disagree with you a little bit, to be honest, bro, but of the three that are up for contract extensions, he's the one that I certainly think is the trickiest to get sorted out. But I don't think that his time is up. I think he's got at least a couple more years left in him at the top level. But I just don't put much faith or belief in this story from Agbonlahor. And I'm going to ask you, do you believe it? So let me just get a poll up in the chat. 1 second. The way I've worded this, my friends, is I've said, do you believe, Agbonlahor, that Salah is leaving for Saudi? And I'll let you vote away in it, yes or no. It's there at the top of the chat now for you guys to have your say. So we'll get this one out of the way. We'll keep it running in the background. And of course, we'll move on to speak about other subjects. Paul Ward said, Gabby said it last season. I'd say, look, he's not the only one. I've heard that former Everton chief executive all summer say that he thinks Salah's going to leave and go to Saudi that summer, and it didn't happen. Look, I don't believe Agbonlahor has a source that has any credibility on this. That's just my take on it. Now, of course, it's impossible for me to say one way or the other because I don't know what his so-called source is. But I can say to you, if somebody's going to report that Salah's agreed a deal to go to Saudi, I'd need it to be a little bit better than Agbonlahor before I start believing it, personally. I'd need it to be a David Ornstein, a Paul Joyce, a Fabrizio Romano, a David Lynch. Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting much faith in this one. I think, look, I'll be honest, I think Agbonlahor talks a load of shite a lot of the time. But that's me. That's my personal view of him. Troy, again, said, I know Salah still scores, but when was the last time he actually beat his man on the wing? So, I guess, Troy, again, I hear where you're coming from, but from me, mate, I would say players often change their game a little bit when they get older. And Salah maybe doesn't beat a man as well as he used to. I mean, I'm pretty much in agreement with you on that one. But I would say, Troy, he's added in lots of other things to his game as he's gotten older that I think still gives him huge benefit to the team. I think his range of passing is better than it used to be. I think his decision making, yeah, okay, we could probably work on that a bit at times, but I just don't believe that it would be prudent of us to let him go. I think he still has a couple of years left at the top level. The only thing that I've always been really consistent on, Troy, is I hate the idea of him leaving for free. So if we were ever to sell him, that would have been a different scenario. But watching him walk out the door for free, it would sting, mate. I can't lie, it would sting. LFC said, I think 1 year contract for Salah. I can tell you flatly he wouldn't sign that. So that's where the problem is probably going to be here. I think the club would look at maybe 2 years. I think Mo might want 3 years, but there's no chance of a 1 year extension. I mean, I would be absolutely blown away if you signed a 1 year extension because it doesn't really solve anything. You're still having the same conversation then. over the summer. Will he move on? Will he sign a pre-contract in January? It doesn't give you any real closure on it. So I don't think myself personally it'll be 1 year over losing him. I mean, I'll be honest about that as well. Cody, gaming and football. How are you, my friend? Nice to see you in again. Said, if Salah leaves, we have to cash in January. We have an array of options. Our whole team is firing and we shouldn't keep him against his will. So what I would say to you is, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn to say that Rami Abbas-Issa has told the football club that there's no chance of a sale. Liverpool are not going to be able to sell Mohamed Salah in January. And I can totally understand their thought process on it. Why would they throw away money? Like, if they were going to leave Liverpool, they're going to want to sign their own bonus. They're not going to lose that so Liverpool can get a bit of a transfer fee. This is what we keep talking about, leverage in these negotiations and these stances. And Liverpool don't really have much at the minute other than, we want you to stay. So I don't think there's any way that Mo or his agent would agree to being sold in January. And it would really disrupt their season as well, let's be honest about that. Stevie boy, really kind of you, bro. Thank you so much. That's an incredibly generous super chat, mate. Thank you. So some fans saying Salah needs to move on, but you trust these owners to bring in a world-class player, or do you trust these owners? No, is the answer there for me. If I'm being really bluntly honest with you, Stevie boy, if we were to lose Salah in the near future, I wouldn't have faith in them doing anything other than trying to justify that Chiesa is the replacement. Or Ben Doak to come back in and work with Chiesa to be the replacement. So I'm with you, Stevie boy. I have no faith. I actually read the comments earlier on in one of our videos, and somebody said, I don't know if it was a dig at me, if it was a dig at all of us, or if it was just a conversational point, but they said, isn't it funny how it's gone quiet now around all the FSG out stuff? And as I said, I don't know if they were aiming that comment at me or the channel in general, but no, it hasn't gone quiet. It's just, there's no point in us banging on about it because everybody will get sick of it. You talk about these things in and around transfer windows when we can maybe up the pressure a little bit or voice our displeasure. Our audience don't want me banging on about FSG all the way through the season because it's distracting, it's negative, and I don't like to be negative, believe it or not. I like to be positive, and I'll talk about FSG when it's time to talk about them, which is transfer window time, because that's my big complaint with them. I'm not one of these people that's FSG out and that's the end of everything. I try to balance stuff out, and if they're not acting in the market, that's usually when I speak up, because that's the time that pisses me off the most, if I'm being honest. If competition with Saudi for Salah, Saudi can wait till the end of the season. There's no way, I can say this to you categorically, there is no way Salah's leaving Liverpool Football Club before the end of this season. That is just not going to happen. Liverpool wouldn't allow it to happen. The player, I don't think, would want it to happen. Everybody is settled in for this season and to see what we can do. So I don't think you have to be any way concerned about Mo leaving this season. That's certainly not going to be the case. Paul Ward said, is there anyone as good as Mo? Probably not, mate. Probably not. I guess you'd probably have to look for somebody who was showing signs that he could become a Mo. Who that is, mate, I don't know. And I hope we don't find out, Paul, because I want him to sign a 2-year contract extension. Jess, how are you? Really appreciate your support, Jess. You're very kind. Thank you. And I mean, the comment you've put in is incredible. Thank you so much. So I've been watching since lockdown. I absolutely love the channel. Mo's my favourite player. Will be upset if he leaves. So I know young Sinead, Dave Sweeney's daughter, who watches as well, massive Mohamed Salah fan, always hoping for Mo to score. And I'm with you, Jess. It'll be incredibly difficult, wouldn't it, to see the man leave? I'm stressed, Jess. I can't lie to you. I'm stressed about the Salah situation, the Trent situation, the Virg situation, and I'm stressed that we've left it too late. But I hope I'm wrong. I do. And thank you so much for your kind words. It really does mean a lot. LFC Cal said, just getting in, but if Gabby Agbonlahor says something, you can almost always bet against it. I'm kind of that mindset as well, mate. I think I think it belongs on a certain little island that we have here on the channel. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? I would put that firmly on Bullshit Island. Matthew said, Craig, thoughts on Kudus as a Mo replacement? I like Kudus. I do. I think he's a very good player. I would say you'd have to look at the value of it, because if you're signing him from West Ham I think his release clause is about 80. If I remember, I think it was David Ornstein said that he had a release clause. Would we pay that? I don't know, is the honest answer. You know, you could make a good argument that, yes, you're paying a lot of money, but he is Premier League tested and proven now, so maybe that offsets some of the worry. But again, I just hope we don't have to have this conversation, because I don't think Mo is nailed on to go to Saudi, and I hope that Liverpool can find a way to keep him. Salah won't leave. He wants to play in the Champions League. I would say, Jamal, that he would look at the Saudi Pro League right now, and let's be honest, it's not exactly going great, is it? You know, you've seen the players that are over there. The kind of hype around it has died down a little bit. This summer they weren't in any way as gung-ho with signing players as they were previously. I think we've seen enough clips of it to know that it is not at the level that someone like Mohamed Salah is still playing at. So I very firmly believe that there's more years Mo at a higher level than that. I think he'd be mad, personally. You know, if it's about the money, he's going to be a wealthy man anyway, isn't he? Mulls said, Agbonlahor has been on many podcasts saying that he has specific things to troll fan bases and get a reaction. I don't believe a word out of his mouth. I think anybody, and I mean this to literally anyone, anybody that intentionally comes on and lies to rile up people or get a reaction is a piece of shit, in my opinion. That's not specific to Agbonlahor, that's in general. And do you know what really gets me? When I see people who profess to be Liverpool fans intentionally lying to people about transfer targets as well, that gets to me. Because you're then undermining your own fan base with stuff that you know to be untrue, but you want clicks from it.